everyone. We are La
Lachi.
Mola. And we are back and we're on episode 7 of No Monsta. That's wrong. Let's go back. No Monsta. No Monsta. Now I'm gonna say it again. No mercy, no mercy, no mercy, no mercy. Got it. Okay, here we go. Ready? Hi everyone. We are
Lachi.
Molala. And we are back for episode 7 already. Episode 7 of No Mercy featuring Monsta X.
I mean, after today, we'd be 70% done of the series.
I love how every episode you tell us how much more we have to go. You cannot wait.
I want to start on something happy so we won't get so upset, you know?
It's not that we don't enjoy the guys, but yeah, we spend a lot of our time worried about them. It's giving us wrinkles for sure.
I know. I mean, we know the end result, but it just really sucks, like, to see what they've gone through, you know? So,
but it definitely does give you a deep appreciation for, because we know there's been, this is just the first of many trials. So the fact that they keep bouncing back better than ever is like kudos to them.
Yeah. So, last week's episode, we saw the performance portion and how they were judged.
The vocal performance.
Yes, vocal performance. Thank you.
I know there'll be another one. That's why.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna do the dance one next. But yes, why did I forget the most important adjective? Who knows? But yeah, last week's episode, we love all the comments that you guys are writing to us, and we love that you guys are talking among each other as well. So thank you very much. And of course, we always see your comments. It's just we're not that fast in responding back. So we all read your comments, and so and we will get back to them. But that being said, it seemed like it was like a split vote among the Monbebe. Some Monbebe agree Team O should have won, which we felt like, we think Team O was stronger. And then there were other Monbebe who believed that, well, no, Team S, like rightfully so, should like won,
And it makes sense that there's that split. I mean, even the judges, it was 5-4. It's not like it was unanimous.
Yeah. So
I think it really depends on what you're looking for out of a group.
Exactly. So even if you guys have differing opinions from us, we don't
Lay
care.
it on us.
No, we don't care.
We
like
don't care.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes the world go round, right? Like different opinions, and everyone's very respectful of each other, of different opinions. So we just love to hear it. So thank you so much for letting us know like why you love the second performance, or why you agree that, well, Team O should have won, so that's okay. So all right, so Guyan. All right, I was such a dummy because I was like, okay, I knew the guy was from God, and God is actually called Grooves Overdose, by the way. So that is a acronym, and it is.
I mean, I know it usually has periods in it. It's not supposed to be God.
Yeah. So in the subtitles, if you guys saw God, it is not God. It's God and Grooves Overdose. I believe that is the acronym for it. So I was trying to remember.
So dark.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Bless me. Thank you.
Okay, and so then but Guyan, on the other hand, I kept looking at her, and like the more I kept looking at her, it was bothering me until like towards the end of the episode. And then we had this long discussion that I forgot to look her up, but thank you so much, Lessa, for bringing her up in our comments, because yes, she is from Brown Eyed Girls, you guys. Like, I'm very familiar with like a Gen 1, Gen 1.5, and slightly Gen 2 like musicians and artists. but I couldn't quite remember. Like, I'm really bad with their names in that generation. Not that I am like with the names now, like for like third and fourth generation. Like, I think I've gotten a lot better with names, but like,
We have watched a lot of variety shows. That always helps.
yes. But for Gen 1, Gen like way in the beginning, like I listened to more of the music than memorizing their names. So I could recognize like the music, but I don't know their names. So
there's a lot less content back then, I'm sure.
Oh gosh, it was so hard to find. Like, yeah, a lot.
Like you had to work hard just to get their music.
You guys, I had to use MIRC to get their music. That's like old school programming, you know? So, very old school. Okay. But then, yeah, so Guyan, like if you guys heard Abracadabra, that is a very, very iconic song and dance. Until this day, you will hear this song like in H Mart, you know, or some sort of Korean market. Because I have, like, I feel like every single time I go to H Mart, I hear that song. You know,
is there any way we can get you to do the dance right now?
Oh, I would have to like stand up and do like this. They do like a lot of this, you know. But I love that music video because if you guys have never seen that music video, first the dance is iconic, the song is iconic, and third, I have to say like the whole storyline to that is really, really cool. You know, like they are badass women in that music video. So
nice.
Yeah, so if you have never seen it, go watch it.
And that also explains why you're like, I like her. She seems cool.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. But anyways,
even I recognized her, and I don't know that band, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that song in H Mart.
Yeah.
I think all H Marts have the same playlist, right?
Yeah, yeah. All I remember from that song is like the hook, like, you love her. You okay, anyways, like yeah, anyways. Yeah.
Okay, guys, now you have to look it up with that teaser. Also, there's something else we're gonna put to bed today, aren't we?
Okay.
Look.
Yes.
I know you've been looking, but look again.
This might be the last time we will be talking about this because there you go.
That is one how.
There you go. Yeah, I feel like in the other episodes they cut off his face, but this episode they did not. So,
well, I think it's because it flashes so quickly. Like it's mostly his back, and as soon as he starts to turn, I just happened to pause it at the exact perfect time to say that's one how.
Yep.
So, mystery solved. We promise to not talk about it. Maybe. I want to say never again, but I know we will.
No, we probably will. We will. We will. But it won't be
but this time we'll be like, ooh.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a matter of debate anymore because it has been a debate up until episodes, 6. And then 7 is a confirmation of it, you know? So
confirmation.
Yeah. So I mean, what are we gonna debate about now in beginning of 8, 9, and 10?
We'll probably just be like, ooh, one ho.
More like a comment instead of a debate. So.
Instead of a question.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, so this is episode 7. It's the third mission still. Now we're going to get to see the more performance-oriented, more dance-oriented song that they prepared, again in the same teams. And based on the preview, I definitely want to see that part where they're throwing people around in Shonu's group. And I'm really excited. Like, I have to say, I'm really pulling for Sharp Gun. I want him to be amazing, and I want someone else to mess up. Just to like validate him so that he can be like, it wasn't me, I didn't do it.
I'm gonna go with my original thought that the vocal performance team S won, and then the dance performance team O is gonna win, and then
we'll be on
Yes.
Cliffhangers, pins and needles. Yeah, what will they choose?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still gonna go with that because that is very, very made for TV. So
I was just gonna say that's good TV.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
There needs to be a little suspense. If one team wins everything, then you're like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, hello, Shonu needs to win the dancing challenge.
I mean,
Hyungwon needs to win the dancing challenge.
Yeah, I mean, Hyungwon and Shonu are in there,
Yeah.
so they're hello.
And Wonho's amazing, but he's just one dude.
Yeah, yeah. And this is a teamwork effort. It's supposed to be a team that collectively does the dance very well.
You just think having two people who specialize in dance, you'd get more ideas and maybe more interesting moves. But of course, there's also the problem that it could be too many chefs in the kitchen. But let's face it, Hyungwon would just let Shonu. If he had an idea and Shonu had an idea, he'd be like, Shonu's is cool. Shonu's is cool.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I'm looking forward to seeing more of the leadership too.
Yes, I am too. I'm interested to see if maybe it switches up a little bit because it's a different thing. But I don't know. Like I said, Wonho's the best dancer on the second team, right? So who knows? Definitely.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because like in my mind as I'm watching this, it's gonna be like, well, I guess I should tell you at the end of the episode, but I'm going to tell you now anyways. But like in the back of my head, I'm going to be like, why did they switch from Wonho to Shonu, as the leader? Very last minute, So I think this type of episode will
challenge. Right?
Challenge will will kind of give you some sort of insight as to why Starship decided to change the way that they did, So, I mean,
I'm also oddly excited to see the super old trainee. What's his name? I always say Yoo-hoo, and I know that's not right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yoonho.
Yoonho. See, it's got all the right letters.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see what he can do because I feel like in his very first performance where they all performed alone, his dancing was the thing that stood out to me. And he's been training for a long time, and I feel like dancing's the thing he's been training the most on. So I would expect him to be pretty good too.
Yeah. In all honesty, like I said, I feel like Team O is gonna win, but I'm with you. I am rooting for Sharp Gun because by nature, I always root for the underdog. Let's be real.
Right?
Yeah, and he got so much crap about like not being able to dance well and stuff like that. So I'm really hoping to see him shine,
Sometimes people need that pressure to really perform.
Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of want him to knock it out of the park so that he can just be like, wasn't me.
Yeah, exactly.
He took a lot of crap last episode. He did. They obviously said it to his face because he knew about it.
Yeah, and I feel really badly for him, because I felt like he's one of the guys that also got a lot of crap throughout the whole entire series so far, Mad Clown. But about his rap.
He's had a lot of smackdowns.
Yeah, so a lot about his rap and now his dancing. So it's like, come on. But
I guess we'll see what happens. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready. But before you press the beautiful play button, you guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that we can continue on doing more Monsta X content.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Starting from Wonho's back. Let's begin. See, I knew I'd talk about it. I can't help myself.
Oh, good girl.
Look at how tall Joo-hun is until I see him with Shonu.
I don't know why I thought this intro looks different, but it's still the same.
It's the exact same one, girl.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a little quiet. I'm gonna bounce it up.
All right.
Do it.
Sorry, did I grunt?
Yeah. Yes, it is a cruel debut war.
Yeah.
진짜 나 무서워 눈물 날 뻔했어요 거짓말하고.
Oh. They look so happy. Yes.
Me too. They're so cute.
쉽게 했다 쉽게. 뭐 깜빡거리는데 진짜 너무 잘해줬다. 한 15초가 진짜 한 3분인 줄 알았어.
Oh.
I bet.
마우크가 우리 팀워크가 진짜 답이었어. 그래서 빨리 얼른 옷 갈아입고 다음 무대 찢으러. 오케이.
Brings up all that confidence.
Yep. There's those prison outfits. I can't wait to see what song they're dancing to. I honestly cannot wait.
두 번의 기회가 있는데 한 번은 진 상태에 불리한 건 당연히 저희가 불리할 수밖에 없어요. 일단은 어떻게 해서든 분위기를 되돌려놔야 했기 때문에
차 미션 최종 승리팀은 오늘의 최종 탈락자는
Ah!
미안해.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, everyone's gonna cry?
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my
Lord.
gosh. Is this episode gonna make me cry?
Yes.
뭐지? 뭐야? 뭐야 이게? 팀 소개 영상 제작.
팀 영상?
Ooh.
뭐야 이거?
이걸 찍는 거 아니야?
아 이걸로?
진짜 이걸로 찍는 거야? 진짜?
Choose someone with a longer arm.
이게 중요한 거 아니야? 제가 그러면은 제한 없으니까 하고 싶은 건 다 하고 여러 곳에서 찍는 거지. 아 형. 5시간 누고 1시간 그냥 카페에서 촬영해요. 카페인이니까. 형, 그러면 명동부터 가자. 명동 빨리 가요. 가도 되는 건가 진짜 바로? 빨리. 가도 되나? 나도 심장 터질 것 같다. 빨리.
Look, it's like they're ditching school.
I know. Look at Kyungwon's face. He's like, ugh.
일단 어떻게 컨셉을 잡고
They're so serious. It's so cute.
약간 스토리식으로 가는 거죠. 현우 형이 1화 때도 JYP 때 같이 연습하던 갓세븐 동생들 만나러 왔어요.
바쁜데 미안하다.
아, 바쁜데 미안해.
So they are watching this. It wasn't all filmed ahead of time.
로보트?
Oh. Oh.
오장남 한번 외치고 가자. 1, 2, 3, 4, 오장남. 5, 6, 7, 8.
일장남! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5장남 파이팅! 이렇게
2, 3, 4, 오장남!
My gosh.
Reminds me of Power Rangers. I don't know why.
I was thinking Voltron. or
Oh,
something.
yes, Voltron too.
저기
Come here, kids.
형 이거 뭐야? 이거 뭐야? 근데 저 형 볼을 세게 때려줘요.
세게요?
What?
자, 레디! 액션!
Wait, is their concept to terrorize Shonu?
아, 진짜? 괜찮은데?
I bet the kids love that.
I bet they paid them.
Mm-hmm.
An ice cream each. Oh, was he on asleep?
I think he's taking a nap.
같이 가.
Mario.
나 뭐야? 유미?
이름이
Oh my gosh.
명동 장난 없다.
야, 나도 명동 가고 싶다. 야, 홍대에도 사람 많아.
그죠? 홍대? 홍대? 고고!
Oh my gosh.
와,
They should do some mukbang. They should eat.
Mm-hmm. Look at those girls. Cackling.
Because it's everyone's style.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw those 5 guys walking down the street. Oh my gosh, embarrassing.
네.
현우 알아요? 잘 부탁드립니다.
Shonu, he's so cute.
Right?
와 대박.
보시다니.
You're famous if they recognize you, right?
Yes.
Oh, cute.
Could you imagine these pictures that they took and now they're so big now?
Oh my gosh. I would die.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Hyungwon had his like arms around her.
Right?
일단 이제 겨우 세상을 살아온 지 21년 1994 많은 날 태어난 기념으로 세상과 쌈박질을
This is so good. I hope they're filming this.
I hope they are. This is like free PR.
Yeah. So cute. Is that Minya? Oh no, it's the taller guy, right? It's MK.
Oh.
세계로 스토킹 키. 오, 좋아.
셋넷
출발, 기현이 출발.
무표정.
오케이. 괜찮아.
Oh my gosh, they are not getting the same response. I'm so serious. Oh my god.
다시 이제 익숙한 사내말로 돌아가. 하루 꿈만 같다. 그니까.
현우 형, 그 갓세븐 선배님들이랑 형이랑 나왔었잖아 1화에서. 그때 형만 딱 남겨지고 팬분들은 그 갓세븐 선배님들 따라가셨잖아. 근데 오늘은 그게 아니라 그냥 형한테
제대로 했어요.
진짜 제대로
Oh.
기분이 어때?
약간 그걸 기분은 조금 뭔지 알겠더라고.
더 데뷔하고 싶다라는 생각이 더 들지 않나?
너무 많이. 요즘 막 엄청 힘들잖아. 그래서 계속 들었던 생각이 내가 가수를 왜 하고 싶어 했지? 이 생각이 진짜 많이 들어. 좀 진짜 느끼게 해준 것 같아.
진짜 신기한 것 같아. 진짜 힘이 너무 났어.
최근에 우리 모습 중에 제일 밝았던 것 같아.
맞아, 진짜.
Oh.
Because people are noticing your hard work. You guys kill it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
What is happening?
Whoa.
What?
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
my mommy.
I love that.
내가 이렇게 찢어서 계속 바람이 새는 느낌. 진짜 토가 나올 것 같아.
여기 민균이가 좀 더 앞으로 가줘야 돼.
Yes, sir.
엉덩이가 걸치게. 두 번째.
너 이렇게 어깨 이렇게 된다고.
가슴이 이렇게 들어가잖아 이거나 했을 때 약간 턱을 당겨줘야 돼. 해서 각 만들어줘야 돼.
They're so detailed.
Mm-hmm.
좀 민균이가
춤이 조금 뒤처지다 보니까 외우는 게 좀 느려서
좀 많이 답답한 부분들이 좀 있어가지고.
Oof.
빰빰빰빰빰빰. 민균아 앞 사람 보고 좀 잘.
Young one's like, do not block me.
어디까지 가잖아?
Yeah, he is.
어디까지 오니? 여기까지 들어가. 네가 보여야 될 거 아니야.
앞이라고. 하나 돌려.
Dang.
짜증났고.
Yeah, it's hard.
얘들아 불 끄고 가자.
Because he's trying really hard to keep up with all these guys who dance so well.
Yeah. And he's younger than them, so they've had a lot more practice.
Oh, wow. Good job for him.
Yeah.
속상하면서도
He really wants it.
연습을 하자 생각으로 새벽에 남아서 연습을 했거든요. 팀워크 미션인데 팀에서 한 명이 떨어지는 거잖아요. 저희 팀이 되면 안 되니까.
Oh.
꼭 이 친구랑은 같이 데뷔를 하고 싶다. 이런 사람 있어요?
민균이 하겠습니다.
Oh.
Oh, that's sweet.
순수한 마음 그런 친구랑 같이 데뷔하고 싶어요. 그리고 민균이는 목소리도 되게 좋아요. 근데 나중에 데뷔하고 나서 민균이가 앨범을 내더라도 그 앨범은 저는 계속 들을 것 같아요. 그래서 같이 데뷔하고 같이 도우고 싶은 동생이죠.
퍼포먼스 해보자.
God, his face gets so close to the floor.
Right?
I would be worried my head would hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
이거 하바하고 나면 진짜
날리는 거 한 번만 해보면 안 되죠?
해보자. 약간 지금 전체적으로 힘이 좀 떨어졌어. 더 빡세게.
잘했어.
Wow.
이 느낌인데?
좋아. 오케이.
That is so scary. You need to like really trust your teammates.
It's the ultimate trust fall because you're
Yeah.
going much faster.
Yeah. You can literally break your teeth if they accidentally forget you.
맞춰봐야 될 것 같아.
예.
좀 더 힘있게 하고 그냥 한번 해보자.
예.
마지막 부분에는 제가 더 연습을 좀 많이 주도한 경향이 있어요. 저 혼자 괜히 조마조마해가지고 제가 리더로서 한 건 없지만 괜히 그런 타이틀이 좀 많이 부담스럽더라고요.
3차 미션 진짜 열심히 준비했거든요.
Ugh.
그냥 한 거만큼 다 보여주고 왔으면 좋겠어요.
Who's your muscle king?
Obviously.
팀워크가 뭔지 똑바로 보여드리겠습니다.
저 때문에 탈락자가 나오지 않기를 그렇게 무대를 만들고 싶어요.
결과는 어떻게 될지 모르겠지만 이겨야죠.
이제 우리가 마지막 남은 무대 한 개잖아요. 우리 팀에서는 탈락자가 나오면 안 된다.
충분히 역전할 수 있고 자신감도 있으니까 당연히 이겨야죠.
That's right.
Yes, I love that confidence.
별의에 찬 모습들이었죠.
자, 이제 두 번째 퍼포먼스 대결이 남아 있는데 일단 첫 번째 보컬 대결에서 오장남 팀이 패했습니다.
They're aware.
Yeah.
다음 무대에서는 어떤 무대 준비했는지 들어봐도 될까요?
저희가 이번에 할 퍼포먼스의 테마는요. 탈옥입니다.
They're so cute. I love that they're silly.
Look at her. She's like,
하면서 보도록 하겠습니다.
She can't show too much since the guy from GOD called her out already.
제가 또 저런데 나도 몰랐는데 춤은 되게 또 다이나믹하게 빡세게 춰요. 또 안 그럴 것 같은데.
퍼포먼스 보시죠. 그 생각밖에 없었어요.
진짜 내 뼈를 부러뜨려야겠다.
oh my gosh. Props?
Come on, guys.
Props with the song. I see push-ups.
It's prison. Yes, Youngwon.
So cute.
I love how the song keeps changing.
Right? Amazing.
I don't know why, but that is ridiculously cute.
Love it. Of course, Minhyuk would be his facials right there.
Right?
Perfect.
So extra. Yes. Yes. Youngwon's doing all the things.
Mm-hmm. Shut up. Amazing. Oh, Hyungwon.
Ooh, so sexy.
What?
Whoa.
What? What? If they don't get a good review from this, I'll be mad.
That had so many incredible moves, and they've changed the tempo and the rhythm so much.
Yeah.
잘한다.
Aww.
진짜 멋있어, 진짜 멋있어.
이런 걸 보면 다시 태어나고 싶은 그런 느낌. 열심히 잘 살고 있는데 갑자기 그런 느낌 확 들어요.
I mean, even he liked it.
I know. That's so wow.
특히 민경 군 표정이 되게 잘 보였어요. 익살스러운 표정을 지면서 춤을
Yeah, I saw
추는데
part of his facial expressions too.
귀여운 거예요. 그거 되게 잘 봤어요.
Oh.
씨 같은 경우가
Yes.
아까 무대에서는 조금 억눌려 있는 것 같은 느낌이 있었는데 지금 정말 보기 좋았던 것 같아요.
안무 구성도 너무너무 좋았고요. 아이디어도 굉장히 좋았던 것 같고 누구 한 명 빠짐없이 너무너무 춤 잘 추시는 것 같고 얼굴은 되게 어려 보이는데 또 춤출 때는 굉장히 또 섹시함까지 느껴지는 것 같았어요.
I love her observation.
아 멋있어요. 특히 주원 씨는 몸으로 랩하는 느낌이었어요. 그래서
Oh, that's an ultimate compliment. I love it.
Oh, Shona too.
너무 잘 봤고요.
각 개인도 다 보이고 또 팀도 보이고 내용도 보이는 멋있는 무대였던 것 같습니다. 잘 봤습니다. 수고하셨습니다.
There's a lot of teamwork because of all the intricate moves they did together.
Yeah, you had to, you know. There had to be.
잘하는
오, 잘해. 얘는 춤도 진짜 잘 추네. 내가 예상했던 대로 춤도 잘 추네.
Oh, not one negative thing. Better not be. It was really good.
뭐 좋은 평을 받은 건 받은 건데 이 미션 자체에서 승리를 해야 되는 거잖아. 그렇죠. 그러기엔 살짝 부족한 느낌도 들기도 했어, 사실은. 근데 어떻게 될지는 아직 모르는 거니까 우리가 이길 수도 있다 생각을 하고.
Wow. The producers are so mean.
쳐야 된다.
예, 형 갈까? 갑시다.
하나, 파이팅!
Was it like a superstar and his bodyguards?
I guess we'll find out.
Either that or a mad scientist. Come on.
It looks like mad scientist vibes.
여러분 되게 정가겠다 애들이.
그렇다니까요. 그러니까 전 지금 떨어뜨리가 없어요.
They're doing their walk.
Oh my gosh.
오, 잘 쳤다.
Crazy.
His hair.
무슨 아이디어인가요?
형들 진짜 마이너스가 클 뻔했어요.
여자가 봤을 땐 멋있는데요.
Oh.
이럴 때 되게 잘했다 생각.
그쵸?
감사합니다. 아 근데 보통 그렇게 생각하지 않아요? 저 머리가 잘 어울리면 다른 머리를 했으면 좋겠다.
그럴 수도 있네요.
그렇게 생각하지 않아요?
근데 인물이 사는 것 같아요, 저는 개인적으로.
아, 세계로 팀의 두 번째 무대, 퍼포먼스 무대를 보게 될 텐데 어떤 무대 준비를 했는지 들어볼 수 있을까요?
다 같이 행복한 걸로 마지막에 이렇게 와서. 근데 뭔가 나는 이렇게 뭔가 다 같이 이런 거 하는 것도 되게 괜찮은 거 같아.
For real?
참여줘. 메인 댄서. 저 여기 있을 거잖아요, 어차피. 부려. 끼부려. 좋아.
사건이랑 같이 하는 게 걱정이 안 된다고 하면은 좀 거짓말이고요. 조금 되는데
제가 춤이 막 옛날부터 못 춘다 했잖아요.
저는 이제 춤이 좀 약간 부족해서 항상 춤면으로 갈 때는 좀 약간 사이드 쪽에서 많이 놀았거든요.
퍼포먼스를 보시면 박사 역할을 하는 사람이 한 명 있고 고장난 로봇을 하는 사람이 한 명 있어요. 그 나머지는 이제 그냥 이제 만들어진 로봇이고.
건이가 춤이 좀 모자라니까 그거를 좀 더 어떻게 숨겨서 잘 할 수 있는 모습을 보여줘야 되는데
It's probably smart.
넣어보시고 한
Yeah,
명이
that's a good move.
잘 된 것 같았어요. 뭐 더도 말고 덜도 말고 잘 묻어서 자 바퀴벌레 근성으로 살아남아야 될 것 같아요.
Like a cockroach.
Babe.
Why would you say that about yourself? Confidence.
Well, I guess it means he'll outlast everyone.
Mm-hmm.
늘리고 천영 다리. 안 맞기는 좀 많이 안 맞는 데가 많은 것 같아. 근데 느낌은 좋은데요? 에너지는 괜찮거든? 동작을 더 많이 맞추고 자기 액팅이랑 그리고 자기 에너지가 제일 중요한 것 같거든? 그렇게 연습하기로 하자. 그러면.
예, 알겠습니다.
저는 처음에 팀워크가 안 맞을 줄 알았는데 계속 바뀌고 이런 사진수는 겪으니까 되게 많이 친해졌어요. 아 이게 진짜 형제라는 그런 것들인가 형제애 이런 것들이 느꼈어요.
사건 형이 춤에 있어서 좀 많이 힘들 줄 알았는데 이번에 되게 엄청 많이 늘었더라고요. 옛날에 진짜 춤이라고 하면
Dang.
정말 잘해줘요.
건우 형이 이번에 제일 많이 는 것 같아요.
제가 계속 센터만 섰잖아요. 근데 막 이제 형이랑 기현이 형 아예 맨 뒤에서 계속 거울도 못 보고 계속 이것만 했잖아요. 그래서 그때도 막 제가 일부러 막 더 빡세겠거든요. 거기서도 약간
미안해서?
미안해서 나는 쭉 가운데 한 번도 못 쓰잖아 이번에. 그래서 만약에 너가 제대로 진짜 열정적으로 안 했더라면은 짜증이 나고 그럴 수도 있을 것 같았는데 지금은 전혀 그런 게 없는 것 같아. 열심히 하니까 하나도 그런 거 없어.
다 그래. 다 이번에 잘한다고.
자기 역할 되게 잘 소화하는 것 같아.
이 정도까지 맞는 것도 대단하다고 생각해.
기현.
무대는 저희가 이겼습니다.
상대팀 무조건 누를 생각이고요. 질
Looks pretty
일은
good.
아마 아예 없을 것 같아요.
헤이 오장남, 너희님이 고장남, 얼른 도망가.
Dang.
네, 일단 첫 번째
Fighting words.
1라운드 무대에서 승리를 거뒀기 때문에 좀 더 여유로운 마음을 가지고 긴장 안 하고 좋은 무대를 할 수 있기를.
Favoritism. Sorry.
Relax and show us what you got. There's still this part to do.
이 분위기 그대로 가자.
무조건 이기겠습니다.
5명에서 다 살아남기로
Actually, I have a thought about this.
이렇게 만들어주겠다고 약속을 했기 때문에 꼭 이겨야 돼.
It's a lot of props again.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yo, Jason. Say something to her. Holla at her. You know what to do with that big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Just a little bit of patty cake with no hands. Got me in this club making wedding plans. If I take pictures while you do your dance, I can make you famous on Instagram. Hot damn it, woo. Your booty like 2 planets. Woo. Go ahead and go ham sandwich. Woo. Whoa, I can't stand it. 'Cause you know what to do with that big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
It is. Gun's doing really good facials.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was
Oh,
cool.
wow. Oh.
That was really cute. I hate seeing everyone's worried faces. Ooh, that looks awesome.
Amazing. So cute.
아 표정 리얼이야.
좋아. 왠지 잘한다 진짜.
진짜.
재밌다. 아 아이디어 진짜 아 개인 기량이 진짜 여기는 원래 팀 같아. 야 아이디어가 되게 좋고 되게 팀이 가져야 하는 색깔이 되게 확실히 있는 것 같아요. 샷건 군 같은 경우가 이제 예, 위트 있게 주도하고 그다음에 유나 군이 춤을 정말 잘 추네요. 딱 봐도 예, 춤을 정말 잘 추는 것 같고 나머지 분들도 너무 호흡도 잘 맞고 너무 재밌게 잘 봤습니다. 네.
감사합니다.
여기에 샵건의 연습생들이 뽑은 춤 제일 못 추는 멤버라고 나와 있는데 사실은 제가 이거 보기 전까지는 못 추는
Why would they give that to the judges?
제일 잘 춰서 연습 있는 거라고 생각을 하고 봤거든요. 그리고 이걸 보고 생각을 해보니 약간 중간중간에 어려운 부분들을 은근히 이상한 애드립으로 막 돌린 것 같은 게 기억에 살짝 나는데 어떻게 보면 그것도 굉장히 머리 좋은 선택이었던 것 같아요.
그렇죠. 감사합니다.
네, 너무 멋진 무대였습니다.
감사합니다. 팀워크가 뭔지를 되게 잘 보여준 것 같아요. 팀 미션에 맞게끔 앞서 무대에서 부족했던 느낌이 준 사람들이 오히려 더 드러나는 좋은 무대가 됐던 것 같아요. 네, 기분 좋게 잘 봤습니다. 수고하셨습니다.
감사합니다.
이거는 진짜 프로그램이 이거 노멀씨는 심사위원한테 노멀씨인 거예요.
예, 그러네. 이게 안 되는 분들한테 그런 얘기. 진짜.
I mean, how are they gonna pick?
이대로 두 팀 나오면 안 되나?
I'm wondering if the other team wins, then since it's split.
게 대박이었던 것 같아. 일단 제일 대표는 팀워크를 먼저 보였다는. 그러니까.
다행히 내가 두 번째 들어갔어.
If it's split, then if they're gonna take away from each team, like eliminate, and that was my
Two?
thought. Mm-hmm.
딱이었어 근데 제일 잘했어 연습 때보다.
아 진짜요?
아.
이제 도살장으로
아 진짜 울것 같아.
Oh, don't say that. Oh.
이거 진짜 힘들다.
승패를 가릴 수가 없어요.
각각 색깔이 있어요.
얘는 확실히 아이돌 같고 얘는 진짜 잘했고.
어떻게 해야 되지?
어떻게 하면 좋아?
그러니까 큰일이네. 미치겠네.
Why is my heart beating so fast right
I
now?
know!
I'm like, what is happening?
자, 오늘 두 팀의 무대를 모두 잘 봤습니다. 진짜 여러분들 처음 본 심사위원분들도 아주 극찬을 아끼지 않을 정도로 굉장히 좋은 무대였습니다. 자, 그래서 댄스 퍼포먼스의 승자팀은
I really have no idea.
They're both so good.
오장남 팀입니다. 오장남
Just like you
팀입니다.
thought.
Their choreography also, all of them were like very in sync.
최종 결과 노멀씨 제 3차 미션 팀 미션의 승리팀은
확실히 완성도가
You look like you're pulling out your hair.
Get on with it.
I mean,
진짜 멋있어, 진짜.
Stop giving us fillers. Get on with it.
노멀씨 제 3차 미션 팀 미션의 승리팀은
oh my god!
처음부터 생각했던 게 우리가
These editors, I hate them.
No. Get to it. We get it.
그러니까 결과는 저희가 이겨야죠.
저희 팀이 이길 것 같아요.
되게 잘 맞다 보니까 또 큰 시너지가 나는 것 같아서
형제 이런 것들을 느꼈어요.
5명이서 다 살아남기로 그걸 했기 때문에 꼭 이겨야 돼.
이번에는 승자에게도 패자에게도 정말 아낌없는 박수를 주고 싶습니다. 승리팀은 축하합니다. 세계로 팀입니다. 세계로 팀입니다.
Oh my gosh, I'm like welling up.
Yeah.
패배한 오장남 팀 5명 가운데 탈락자가 나오게 될 텐데
Shonu can't catch a fucking break.
No.
리더인 션우 군의 소감을 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
뭔가 잘못이 있다면 뭔가 리더로서 좀 더 멋진 무대를 하게끔 했어야 하는데 그것에 대한 뭐야. 아무튼 무엇보다 멤버들한테 많이 미안한 마음이 드는 것 같아요.
자, 지금 좋은 무대를 꾸민 만큼 탈락자를 선정하는 건 굉장히 어려울 것 같습니다. 잠시 저희가 협의를 가지고 탈락자를 선정하도록 하겠습니다.
And they're on stage again.
Yeah.
This is cruel.
I know, right?
잠깐만 1분만요.
잘했어.
난 너무 슬펐던 게 션우 형이 리더로서 뭔가 더 좋은 무대를 만들지 못해서 라는
뒤에서 다 울 뻔했어 우리 다.
그게 아닌데.
무조건 나는 진짜 목표가 진짜로 팀이 안 지는 게 내 목표였거든.
I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have
울지
found
마. 아 왜 울고 그래?
Oh no.
민균아, 형 좀 안아줘. 션우 형 좀 안아줘.
Say something, I'm giving
No. You can't.
And I am feeling so small.
다음엔 진짜 이기자. 뭘 하든 이기자. 다음 미션이 뭐든 무조건.
And I will stumble and fall.
Oh, that's so cruel. Short break while they're trying to. Oh my gosh, what?
아유 다 울어.
I know, how can you watch them all cry and not cry?
Yeah.
자, 3차 데뷔 미션 팀워크 미션 탈락자를 발표하도록 하겠습니다. 탈락자는
제 자신이 너무 싫었어요. 탈락자가 되면 안 되는데.
너무 다 열심히 했고 정말 모여있어요. 자괴감에 많이 빠져 있었어요. 탈락할 수도 있겠다.
내가 이번 탈락자인가 말할 수가 없어. 그냥 중압감을.
팀이 진 거에 대해서 리더가 가장 큰 책임도 있었던 것 같고.
탈락자는 민균 군입니다. 민균 군입니다.
Oh.
You got so many compliments too.
Yeah. Oh.
진짜 이거 못할 짓이다.
못할 짓이야.
Oh, this is so hard to watch.
This is the worst. This is the worst one so far.
아니 오늘 같이 숙소에서 장난치기로 했는데 진짜 안 됐어.
Oh, I can't want to.
안녕하세요. 저는 20살 박민균입니다. 매력 포인트 웃는 거.
민균이가 되게 밝고 긍정적으로 사는 친구고 워낙 스스로 밝은 에너지를 많이 내는 친구이기 때문에 항상 웃어요.
밤에 연습이 끝나면 한 2시 정도? 3시 정도 되거든요. 그리고 나서도 민균이는 좀 더 연습하고 하면 안 돼요. 이렇게 얘기한단 말이에요.
노력을 진짜 남들보다 훨씬 많이 했어요. 진짜로. 땀 뻘뻘 흘리면서 연습복 막 4-5벌 갈아입으면서 계속하고.
제가 진짜 너무 아끼는 동생이라
So sad.
그냥 너무 미안해요.
오늘 같은 무대는 후회 없는 무대였어요. 진짜로. 앞으로는 음악을 좀 즐겁게 해보고 싶어요. 지금까지 너무 데뷔라는 압박감에 시달렸거든요. 즐기면서 진짜 음악 잘하는 사람 그렇게 인정받고 싶어요.
안녕하십니까? 여기 앉아. 앉아. 기분들은 좀 어떠냐?
어제 안 좋았는데 오늘은 괜찮아.
뭐 일단 밥 먹으면서 이러저 얘기하자.
They were like, we can't end the episode there.
I know, right?
It'd be too much. People won't come back.
Right?
형이 그렇게 얘기를 했는데 계속 아팠었잖아.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I hope he's paying.
I know, he better be paying.
네.
Uh-oh. What is gonna happen?
예측하지 못한 일이 일어났어 너희에게. 지금 너희의 상황에서 어쩌면 가장 큰 시련이 될 수 있을 거야.
Look at Wonho's face.
프로그램을 떠나서 그냥 실제로 너희가 아이돌을 준비하는 과정에서 충분히 일어날 수 있는 일이라고 생각하고 프로그램을 진행하면서 래퍼가 부족하다라는 생각을 하게 된 것 같아.
How can you not know that?
This is where they bring in Jinkyun,
그래서
right?
노멀스의 새로운 멤버 한 명이 추가가 된 거야. 친구 불러올 테니까.
Even the vocalists look upset.
인사하는 자리가 됐으면 좋겠고. 지금 올 거야. 그 친구 데리고 올게.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
look
they're
at
setting
them.
him up to be hated.
Yeah.
Again, TV.
Mm-hmm.
You probably wouldn't do it like this in real life.
No.
도대체 어떻게 받아들여야 돼?
너무 화가 났어요.
진짜 놀랬어.
Are these their videos?
아이고 장남 모델 같네. Check it out.
Oh my gosh. Aww.
울티밋 절대 미친 존재감 샷건 열정 있는 리더 원호 행복한 유기현 착한 모습 최성원
Nice guy.
노윤호
They're so mean to him. Stop. I don't have any tissues around, guys.
Me either. I just have my hands. Sorry.
I know. Yeah.
That was super emotional. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. I honestly, there was a part of me that was hoping they were going to say they weren't going to eliminate someone and that they'd eliminate 2 people next time.
Yeah. Oh, I was quite the opposite. Clearly, I was like, how it was going. Like I was like, okay, after this, I feel like they might eliminate one person from each team, because, but that didn't happen. Thank goodness. It was.
I mean, those performances were too good to eliminate 2 people. It was horrible. They had to eliminate 1.
Yeah. That was rough though.
That was real rough. I actually had tears rolling down my face. And you guys have heard enough of me talking about how I think that guy needs extra training and singing and stuff. But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate that he literally puts everything he has into it all the time.
Yeah.
And I personally thought his dance was great. I know he might have been considered the, least accomplished dancer of that group, but he stood up and he stood out. So
yeah,
in a good way, I thought.
Yeah, I thought his facial expressions as well, like I agreed with the judges, about his facial expressions. Like, yeah, it was definitely there. And of course, it's necessary, when you're doing any kind of like dance like that, you got to give
both of their
facials out.
concepts had a lot of acting involved.
Yes, a lot
Both
of
of
acting.
them.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I also thought, we always talk about how much we love Minhyuk's facials, but he also, like, the animation of him really brings those emotions to life, I feel like.
Yeah.
The reason why Shonu can be a broody badass, it's because you've got sunshine around him.
Mm-hmm.
The contrast is what's so cool.
Yeah. Ugh, but
I
Shonu
feel
though.
terrible.
But-
Honestly, that's why I started crying. Shonu was making me cry real bad.
Yeah, I saw you welling up, and then he started to cry, and then everyone started to cry.
And then
I'm like, oh my
Honey was
God,
crying.
I was like,
I just.
So I wanted to clarify what I said earlier, because it might be a little bit confusing. When I said that Shonu's team was like more in sync. So both teams, I'm gonna establish did extremely well. I was blown away.
These were the best performances.
Yeah, by both teams, But when I said that they were more like in sync, like I meant in terms of their choreography, whereas like Sharp Gun, yeah, he kind of just like they were going with the mad scientist concept, like I get it, but then if it's like a really fine line like that in judging and you want to see everyone in unison,
that's what I was going to say. What you meant by that was the other guys danced complicated movements in unison.
Yes.
Whereas the second team, they did a lot of complicated things, but even the robots, a lot of it was more like a waterfall time kind of a thing.
Yes.
Which is super impressive. I said many times, I was like, whoa, that looks cool. Whoa, that looks cool. But I get what you mean. It's not it's not the same kind of teamwork as everybody doing the same complicated moves at the exact same moment with precision.
Yeah, because like if it's a really, really, really fine line like that where it comes down to that, because I kind of had that feeling where it's like, okay, yeah, that waterfall effect is really awesome and cool, but we saw more all of the guys like on Shonu's team all together.
Multiple times.
We see them jump at the same time. We saw them like doing all these like crazy movements all at the same time, as opposed to the other team where, like you said, it's like a waterfall effect, it's still a different, it's still dancing.
Amazing.
Still dancing, still a certain
requires precision.
Yes. So, it's a different type of style, but if they're looking for like synchronization and
synchronization is a good word for it, because this is specifically a team work challenge.
Yeah, right. And so when you're looking for a group of guys to debut together, you want to make sure that they're all in sync together, because it's not like they're going to do the waterfall effect every single time, for every single song.
I feel like the second team, Guns team, they were able to shine maybe a little more as individuals, but that wasn't really what this was about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it's still teamwork, but it's not the teamwork that I think that the judges wanted to see, like in its entirety, I guess. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean, because even though, I mean, think about it, Shonu had at least 2 different parts where he danced on his own, but the other guys weren't doing anything. Like, that was like a spotlight effect.
Yeah.
And then when that stopped, they were all doing it together again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I totally understood what you meant by that. I think that, and I agree with you. I bet you that was the tiny distinction that led to them winning that one. But okay, here's the thing. Now, I know we're always saying, it's about the music, and it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's why Team S won overall, because they had the better vocal performance? And when you come down to it, even though it's a visual medium as well as a sonic one, it has to start with the music.
I think so.
I kind of felt like whoever won the vocals, it was like a default. You knew they would win.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I'm saying they shouldn't have. I'm just saying, like, I'm curious of your opinion.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, I need to hug my Shonu.
Oh. I know. Yeah, if they had to of course they had to choose one team, so I think it came down to the vocal performance as well,
because that's what's going to get people interested. Who's going to watch anyone to find out they're good dancers if you don't like the song and the vocals?
Yeah, okay, so when you release a song, you hear the song first. Like you hear the song and then you see the music video down the road later. I mean, granted, you could see the teasers and stuff like that, but that's
and we're not talking about a band you're already into.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I have stayed up till 2 a.m. to see the premiere of a TXT video that premiered at like 6 p.m. Korean time. Yes, I am crazy.
Yeah.
But normally you would listen to the track first and then like a band you don't know, and then you'd be like, wonder if there's a music video for this. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I understand the vocals. Honestly, the vocals probably should take precedent, because that's how you get them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the performance is maybe how you keep them.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like that's the case. Like normally, I mean, at least in American music, you hear the song first, and then once you hear the song, you get interested in the music video, and then you watch the music video,
Although I do feel like in Korea, they'll put them out at the same time. Like the song will come out, audio version 2 hours before the music video comes out or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is a lot closer over there. But again, if it's a band you've never heard of, you're not going to be on top of it the first day. If it's something you hear like, streaming or something, or Spotify recommends to you, then you're like, who's this? So there's you're not going to, I agree with you. You're not going to look for the music video if you're not interested in the actual music.
But then that's kind of like, I want to say, well, that's kind of like maybe back then, but no, but I kind of have the same sentiments depending like on which bands, But on the other hand, now that we're in a digital streaming age,
It is a visual medium now.
it's now I mean,
it wasn't 20 years ago.
Back in 2014, streaming was, I want to say, yeah, streaming was prevalent, okay, back in 2000, okay, I could say back in 2008.
Hold on, guys. Let's go back.
Let's go back to a little bit to my history. Back to 2008. This is like based on American streaming, okay? Because streaming,
caveat, we're Americans.
So streaming was not as prevalent around, let's say, like the 2000s, 2001, 2000, even 2008. It was still kind of like building up a little bit. It was in that we kind of went into digital age, and then we had digital downloads where you could purchase for $129, or at the time it started off at 99 cents, and then they bumped it up to $129. So it was like digital downloads, and as we kept progressing year to year, streaming digital downloads began to dwindle a little bit, and streaming began to go up. So now in America, streaming is really prevalent now. It's a huge thing. You get paid a tenth of a penny. I mean, everyone knows that. It's not new news. Taylor Swift has fought that for the longest time, that artists should be paid more on streaming because it's the biggest. It's a very sensitive topic. So streaming is such a huge deal now. Now it is, okay? Now it is. So back in 2014, when this happened, streaming was probably, I want to, because I don't know Korean.
It was big. Well, it was big here.
It was kind of still rising up, right? Like with Spotify, and those big, like,
I mean, Pandora's the first one I listened to.
Pandora. Yeah, Pandora.
I know that's old school, but yeah, I remember listening to Pandora like in college and stuff. So
yeah. And so in 2014, and in Korea right now, we all still know that physical is still very prevalent because of the photo cards and all the
extras,
all the extras in there.
American artists should take a look at that and reevaluate how they do physical product.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Physical product in America is still prevalent, but with vinyls are still big in America. It made a comeback, but that's a whole different thing.
I never thought I would buy a CD again, guys, and I said that like 10 years ago.
I know.
But here we are.
Yeah, here we are buying physical product of our favorite K-pop bands. But anyways, I'm trying to bring up a point here about like visuals, for around like 2014, 2015 when this happened. Well, 2014, so filming was probably around what, 2013 maybe?
I think the end of 2000, when they had that New Year's concert with K Will, I think that was 2014. So it was probably started in December or something.
Okay. So then I feel like maybe the progression at 2014, like I think maybe, I mean, Korean mom baby, please correct me, if I'm wrong. Like, I would love to hear your input at the time when you were around, and, obviously in Korea. But I would think, streaming wasn't as big, so like the visual, again, it's like the more of the audio first, then the visual. So now fast forward to now, everything's very hyped up through concept film, like let's use how like they market their stuff, you guys. Like,
they put out a schedule, and every day you get an Easter egg. Here's concept photos, here's the other concept photos, here's a 10-second teaser, here's a 30-second teaser, here's behind the scenes of the video you haven't seen yet. They're very good about the lead up.
So it's a very convoluted,
it's like a whole month
marketing schedule, so it's like this whole schedule, and like, okay, these are the concept photos, here it is, bam bam bam, and so it becomes like a very visual visual thing now, you know, so you're kind of
And it's a lot easier
required.
to find because it's online, because of social media. It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to find it.
Yeah. So now it's also, it feels like it's also a requirement to be, in sync and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Whereas it sounds like I'm like, you know, taking away, you know, but I'm not, you know, like, of course you have to like be in sync and dance and stuff like that, you know, really well. But I think it might be a little bit different around that time where it's like maybe they released it on the radio first, like the song where you have to hear it first, and then, you know, it becomes like a visual thing on YouTube, you know?
I do want to point
So,
out, I feel like in the age of streaming, I mean, MTV had been around forever already, but I do feel like
80s.
there was a point where, like you're talking about, like when you stop buying physical product and you started streaming. But let's face it, as we all know now, which we didn't know then, streaming's an algorithm. So you get caught in you know, you tell it you like Monsta X, and it's like, oh, here's 80 bands like Monsta X. But before that, I rarely listened to the radio, but if I was going to buy something, it's because I saw a music video on MTV or on VH1 or whatever. You know what I mean? So I get what you mean. I do feel like there was this weird in between time where the radio was kind of over, but streaming, you would get some new artists, but only in like one genre. But if you watch, let's say, a couple hours of MTV every day, then you could see, you know, the rap hour or, you know, the pop hour, the EDM hour, whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting that you have that input because our parents didn't buy cable for MTV, so like yeah.
My
So
parents wouldn't buy me Disney, so there you go.
yeah. So I didn't have that. I
Oh,
didn't
see,
have
so that was my
MTV.
in between because I like the radio. Who listened to the radio? I never listened to the radio.
I listened to the radio. So radio was
Whoa!
my basis for
See, and
like,
we really only we grew up like 2 hours apart. So that
Yeah.
just goes to show you that stuff can be very regional, I think.
Yeah,
You know? And also I was really into like, I've always been into stuff that is maybe different than what's the norm. I think that's the other reason I stopped listening to the radio really young, because I was like, I don't, this stuff isn't for me.
Yeah.
So I loved like late night MTV where they'd be showing like, you know, the EMAs, so all the European Music Awards or whatever. Like that's how I found new bands.
Yeah. I found more of the mainstream bands through radio, you know? So,
Well, at
and
least
then-
radio was more diverse back then. There were some
Yes.
indie stations.
Yes.
It wasn't all their channel.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, and as I gotten into college and stuff like that, that's where I start to see more of MTV because that's where I live. College, you know, so I was there all the time, and at 7 a.m., you know, I remember going to the student union, studying, and then watching MTV videos there for a little bit before heading out to class. So, so then that became like my connection to seeing music videos.
And
then,
I will admit, music videos for a while, it's like, oh yeah, not only you were like, ooh, this looks cool. Ooh, I like this fashion. And then you're like, oh, this song's kind of good.
Yeah.
So you're right. There is that like back and forth. It's very interesting to me how music has evolved in that way. I mean, it was always about style and presence. I mean, even as far back as whatever, Elvis. I mean, he made such an impression because he didn't look like everyone else. So it's just they've managed to capitalize it and really exponentially make it like a much bigger deal, I feel like.
Yeah. So sorry, we had a long point
Sorry,
about
yeah, that was
this.
tangent.
Yeah, but we had a huge point about like that, going back to your question about like, you know, the
vocals
Team
versus the
S.
performance.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like both is a requirement, but then like I felt like, you know, at the time, I feel like maybe the music audio wise came out first versus like you know, the dance, because something with dance, like you could, I mean, both realms you could always improve because there's a vocal coach and then there's a, you know, dance instructor and whatnot, you know. But yeah, I felt like, yeah, when it came down to the judging, it's like, well,
I mean, let's face it, this is a music show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of felt like I understood. That's why I feel like I started getting kind of upset when Shonu was like, I mean, I don't think we did enough to win. And I was getting upset because I was like, he's probably right.
Yeah.
I think he already felt like how we do, where he was like, well, we lost the vocal. So
yeah,
now we just have to not embarrass ourselves.
Yeah.
Which I was just like,
I know.
To feel that way after you've literally given such an amazing performance.
Yeah.
And, you know, we always talk about this in current Monsta X stuff. I found myself watching Hyungwon. I mean, he's not even in the center all the time.
No.
I watch him in the back, watch him in the front, watch him in the middle. I just like, my eye can't help it.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like he's so tall and his precision, and basically he's like my gold standard. And I'm like, is everyone catching up to Hyungwon? Because he's doing so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all amazing, but even here where this is the thing he has the most confidence in, that's obvious because he's so good at it. But it's so nice to see him flex.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, honestly, like for me, like the dancer on Team O that stood out is Shonu. Like Shonu, I mean, both Shonu and Hyungwon are amazing dancers. And you know, when I see Hyungwon, like, you know, in the front, I see him, of course, you know, and especially now since like I'm having a bias battle right now, but I mean,
bias battle for your heart.
But aside from that, I'm like, yeah, Shonu stands out a lot to me. Both are great dancers, but also both have very different styles of dancing. You know,
I feel like Shonu I really love too. His is more about like power and force, whereas I feel like Hyungwon's is more about like those snap movements and the like little tiny, it's like he can articulate every bone in his body to do whatever he wants, even if they're not going the same direction.
Yeah.
And I also think you could already see here that he's doing his facials.
Oh yeah.
Hyungwon's dancing facials kill me.
Yes.
I hated the hair today. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Why'd they crimp his hair? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I loved when it flopped over one eye and he's snarling at me and I'm like, wah, wah.
I was like, wow, this series he has like a lot of like side bangs going on, you know, because I'm
his
so
hair's
used,
very long.
I'm used to his like parted in the middle, and I'm like that because that's how it naturally parts for him, you know. So I'm like, whoa, yeah.
I mean, I love his hair with the product in it, but I wasn't a huge fan of the crimping iron. I threw mine away when I was 8.
Yeah, I'm like. I never crimp my hair, so
what? Gosh, you're lucky. I preferred my wave iron. Yeah, I had a wave iron, guys. It was cool. No, yeah, I was just like, even with that hair, I was still like, ugh, come on, please. I feel like you can already see he's just, and that's my point. Like, Shonu is so powerful and so amazing, and I feel like Hyungwon can match him. Even though he has a completely different style and his body type's completely different, and it's just that team's just so strong. I feel like, and I mean, there's someone to watch the whole way through. I would fan cam this, just so I could watch both of them all the way through.
Yeah,
and I didn't feel that way about the other team necessarily. Although, you know who I thought did so good on the other team? I mean, they all did great, but I really thought Kihyun stood out. I thought Kiki was really killing it. You don't remember?
I don't.
You know why you don't remember? They're all dressed the same.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of a drawback a little bit. Even though I know people are going to be like, the other team was dressed the same. Not everyone had the stripes. Everyone had different. Some people had hats. Like, the whole point of the robot thing was that they all look exactly the same. And that might have hurt them a little bit from an individuality standpoint.
Yeah. The other team, like they all were great. I just didn't think anyone really stuck out to me personally. And I hate to say that about Kihyun because you guys know how much I love him, you know?
Right.
Like too much. But anyways.
For me, of all the robots, he stood out the most.
Yeah.
Which I know sounds crazy because he wasn't the broken one.
I mean, the part that stood out to me was just Yoonho, but he was the broken one at the end, you know?
Yeah.
But if you ask me during the performance, you know, like
It's hard to look at anyone but Gun.
Yeah, exactly. My eye was like very much like very, very focused on Gun, Sharp Gun.
And it's interesting because Wonho made it seem like they created this concept around him purposely so he wouldn't be looked at the most. And yet, if you're all dressed the same and he's in the complete opposite colors, I mean, it's just natural that your eye's gonna flow to, you know, something that looks different.
I feel like psychologically, you know, like our eyes, like I think I would say this like periodically in our reaction videos, but your eyes are always focused in the center, you know. So then they even mentioned it in the episode too, like, well, I'm not in the center all the time. Well, yeah, because like normally our eyes when we watch, like, you know, whether it be girl band, boy band, whatever you're watching with a group, your eyes naturally goes to the center. I mean, maybe some people are different, that goes off to the side or whatever, but for me and for most people in this world, your eyes go straight to the center, you know, and that's where
until you have a bias, and then your eye only goes there.
Well, I mean, in this case, Kihan is my old bias, but my eyes didn't go straight to him, you know, like, I mean, please, I would want to, but I was just being very, very fair in this case. But yeah, I noticed Sharp Gun the most, you know, because they were telling a story. He's the mad scientist, and he's the
lead.
He's the lead that's actually like controlling all the other guys. So once he started to do something, then I started to watch them individually.
Right? Even when he was off to the side using like his remote control, I was watching him more than the group.
Exactly. Me too.
I think the reason Kiki stood out to me is because I mean, I know Kiki's a good dancer, but I feel like he usually when the hardest dancing is happening, it's also the part of the song with the most soaring notes. So I feel like there's a lot of times where he's stationary or just slightly walking and the other guys are hard dancing behind him. So this was an opportunity, since there was no singing, for him to really get in the mix. So I guess I was just like, oh damn, look you go.
Yeah, for me, my eyes were too focused on Sharp Gun. Like I noticed,
which isn't a bad thing for him.
Yeah,
because he did a great job.
Exactly. Yeah, he did a great job. And but unfortunately, you know, like maybe my eyes were just way too focused on the concept and what was going on, you know, that I mean, I saw the other guys clearly. It was a great number, you know, don't get me wrong, but if you like the question goes like, did anyone stand up to you? I'm like, Sharp Gun, you know. Sharp Gun, but I mean, but that's because that was the concept, you know, like he wore up, like he stood out with his clothes. He stood out with, I mean, like, and then like playing devil's advocate, then you see SWAT on like Shonu's team, you know, like you see him in prison gear, and all of a sudden like the guys tore off his clothes for him to be a SWAT person, you know.
And then you immediately notice him because he looks different.
Yeah, and I noticed him, but the thing is that like when he started dancing in his clothing that's black, again, he was center and I saw him, but I saw all the other guys too dancing with him. It wasn't just my eyes just like, yeah, I noticed he was SWAT, you know, and different color clothes, but it was, you know.
Every time you say SWAT, it makes me laugh. I don't know why. You say it just like you're using a fly swatter. He was SWAT. You feel me? I don't know why. It's very cute. You really obviously like SWAT guys.
Yeah, I do.
Is it because it sounds so much like SWAT?
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah.
But I do see your point on that. I would agree with you that, I mean, there was that rip away.
Yeah.
Hello, stripper vibes. And I was like, oh damn, but you're right. Like, even though the light focused on him for a minute and we got to see his like reveal, then when all the guys were dancing like together, you're just like, whoa. Like
yeah.
got to stand out, but they were still a group. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. For me, I was like, okay, from that point on, it's not like I was just focused on Shonu and his like different clothing and stuff like that. It's just I saw them as a unit, you know?
Yeah.
So that's like another thing for me too, like why I felt like Team O1, you know? So
I feel like we've been talking a lot about their performances, and I just want to do a little thing where we talk about their ditching work to make a video.
oh my gosh, let's talk about that.
And I'm only using air quotes because let's face it, S Team was really like, it's senior ditch day, woo! Whereas the other team was like, dun dun dun, we have to come up with our own concept. What are we gonna do?
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was very funny, and they only started to have fun when they saw the other guys are having fun. Like,
yeah,
we should be having more fun.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually really cool. That I felt like that was a good way to like enhance their teamwork and the sense of like them as a group.
Yeah.
I was glad the producers let them do that, had that idea. I think even though it stressed Team O out a little bit, again, that team's full of overthinkers. Let's be
yeah.
real.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
But I just really liked it. I thought it was really cute how they were trying to come up with concepts, getting the locals involved. I died over their mini performance, Team O. Like,
yeah. That was a great idea. Like they did like pretty much a PR stunt, you know, for the show, you know.
Free PR. And
Yeah.
obviously episodes have been out because people are recognizing them.
And people are voting, you know, so you have the population voting and you do something like that, which is so smart, you know, because like you're like, hey, you know, we're performing, we're Team O or whatever, you know, like, and they perform in public, and that's
Want to see what we're
memorable.
working on?
Yeah, and then you see people recording them, and that becomes like,
I bet
okay.
it blew up on social media.
Yeah, and they posted that on Facebook at the time, you know, and I'm pretty sure they posted that on Facebook, a Korea Facebook or whatnot, you know, and then it's like, oh my gosh, you know, we gotta like look out for this team, you know, like maybe we should vote for this team and, you know, not vote for the other. You
Seeing
know?
them in person, seeing how kind they are or whatever, taking pictures with them, wouldn't you feel a little bit of loyalty?
Yeah.
I mean, if Youngwon put his arm around me and got real close, I'd be like, I'll vote for you.
I know. Yeah, I'd be like, oh my gosh, Youngwon just took a photo with me.
I mean, he had to bend down so low, but he put his cheek right on that other girl's cheek, and I was
Yeah.
like, come on,
Yeah, so
give me some of that.
seriously, yeah, I my loyalties would be with them then, you know.
Yes,
So
100%.
I
And I
mean-
actually thought it was cute too at the end when Juhani was like, "How do you feel now, Shonu? People know you. People like you. People are supporting you.
Yeah, people see you and you're heard.
Yeah, people see you.
Yeah. So it's vastly different, you know, from like episode 1, you know, more
Right?
Yeah. So I thought that was really nice of Juon to say something like that, you know, and then Minyak like jumped in. He's like, yeah, now I want to debut more than ever, you know.
I think it's
And-
really telling, you know, they put in so much work and they don't get validated for that work by anyone who's not on staff. So I could see how you've been training for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you're just like, I mean, does anyone care?
Yeah.
You're putting in a lot of hard work and you're not getting, I mean, hello, I was a performer. We like immediate feedback.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like applause, you
Yeah.
know? So when you're putting in all the work and let's say you're hopefully improving, you're getting
Yeah.
better all the time. But if no one sees it, you know, if a tree falls in the wood and no one's there, does anyone hear it? If you're better than you were 2 years ago, but you still haven't debuted, you know? So
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting though. Every single person in that van, even Hyungwon was like, this is the brightest day I've had in a long time.
I know.
Sorry,
just-
guys. I was very focused on Hyungwon this episode. Everything he did, every time he looked at the camera, I was just like,
Well, he is your bias wrecker after all. Let's be real.
yeah.
And He's mine too. So
Yeah, I just thought it was really, I don't know. I thought it might be not cute, but it was. I was honestly a little worried about it.
yeah.
But it ended up being much happier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. For Team S, I love how when they got that mission, Sharp Gun was like, all we need to do is just quickly film at a coffee shop. Hello, our song is Caffeine, you know?
I know, right?
We can go play, you know? So
I did love that. I was like, ooh, loophole finder. I love it.
I know. I was just like, you're a genius, man. I would do the same thing. Work for an hour and play for the rest of the day. Why not?
Right.
You know?
And even the editors underneath, they were like, they've totally forgotten to be filming anything because they're just like laughing, shopping, drinking boba.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, bonding, becoming close. I mean, not like these guys aren't already close, but if it's just the 5 of you, you know, that's a memory that you can take onto stage with you as well.
Yeah.
Super smart.
Yeah. And I wonder how long this mission was, you know, like how many weeks, you know, that they had to prepare for it, because it sounded like quite some time, because Sharp Gun was like, well, you know, initially when this team formed, we're like, are we gonna get along or whatnot? You know, but then he realized, like, yeah, we all do get along. You know, we get along really well, and we're very close. He's like, this is the first time I felt brotherhood. You know, which I thought was like, oh,
so sweet.
Yeah, you know,
I feel like I remember in the vocal one, there was a point where they showed us like D9. But that doesn't mean that was the first day they rehearsed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you. I would think they had at least 2 full weeks.
Yeah.
Which sounds like nothing, but is a lot of time in this kind of circumstance.
Yeah, because if you're with your teammates for 23 hours out of the 24, you know, then that's a long time. Like every day you see them. Okay, that's exaggerating. Okay, 20 hours out of 24.
Well, it looks like they all sleep in the same room, right? So 24 hours out of 24.
Okay, yeah. I forgot about the dorms, of course. Duh. You're with them
saying,
all the time. You know, you're practicing.
They're literally like, you can't escape each other.
Yeah.
That's probably why Gunn was like, I'm surprised. Like, we like each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to kill anyone here yet.
Yeah. Which is really, really nice to see. But then seeing Team O's group though, like, I mean, that's pretty much Monsta X right there, you know, for the most part. And it's really nice already
4
seeing,
out of 7.
Yeah, you know, like already seeing that teamwork, you know, like everyone listening to Shonu, you know.
And I liked how in the dance portion, Hyungwon was very like, he was more hands-on because he feels comfortable enough to be like, oh, you gotta roll your shoulders back, you can't be so low, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Also, I love any performer who's like, you're in my light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to be your backup dancer, so don't block me.
Yeah.
I love you, but scooch.
Yes. Yes.
And that was the vibes I was getting from him.
Yeah.
Because as a tall person, he's probably 98% of the time in the very back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Short people like me sometimes have an advantage because it's like, I'm tiny, I have to be in the front, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, unless if you're doing like a V formation, like in Love Killa, you know, when he's doing the punching. Oh gosh, so good. Okay, anyways, but yes, he looks so great right there. I don't know why I brought that up, but yes.
I do. Hyungwon. How could you not? And I won't stop talking about him, so he's all you're thinking about now too.
Keegan's gonna get mad at me.
I know, don't tell him.
Keegan's gonna get mad at me, you guys. Okay, anyways, yeah. Speaking of loyalties though, like when you were talking about this is really ridiculous. I don't know why I'm gonna bring this up, but I will. So when you were talking about like, oh yeah, the girls taking pictures with Hyungwon, how could you not vote for him? And I'm like, yeah, and then I had a flashback of Kihyun when he answered my V Live question about working out. This is why I'm so loyal to him, you guys. He answered my question. I cannot betray him.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You had a real interaction. it's
really
over.
did.
That
I
I feel
really
like
did.
that's when he became your ult. He was your bias in Monsta X, but he got upgraded after that.
He got upgraded for the longest time, you know. Just Hyungwon is just knocking on that door. He's just knocking on that door like, girl.
He's like, give me a chance to answer your V-Live question.
I know. And now if he answers my V-Live question, oh boy, it's gonna be trouble.
I can already see also from the preview why they still get asked if they are mad at Chankyan. Because the setup, you can already tell. And of course, like, they're not mad at him, it's the situation. Honestly, they're probably mad at the goddamn producers.
Okay. All right, about that. All right.
Uh-oh. You just put your serious face on. Go.
Okay. So, all right. Wow. Okay. K-Will. All right.
It makes sense that he'd do it. He's the shadiest.
Yeah. Which I'm, you know, some weird thing. Like, I'm glad he was the one that's going to get on, you know, because he said it. But honestly, though, like, you just realized that there wasn't enough rappers? Do you guys
We said that the first time.
Do you not know how to count? You know, it's just like there were 3, you know, or 4. Was it 4? I see.
Yes, there were 4.
4. See, now I don't know.
But there were 8 vocalists.
Yeah.
So twice as many vocalists.
Yeah.
And I understand not everyone has, like, I feel like some bands do have a more even split between rap line and vocal line, but a lot of bands don't. But like, if you don't know who your rappers are yet, you need a few more people.
Oh my God. Really? You guys just realized that? And again, this is all for television because they were well aware. You don't do a show without a plan, you know? So that if you do a show without a plan, it becomes immediately, you know, that show is going to get canceled because that show has no plan, you know?
And I bet you after the comments for the first show, they started looking around for another rapper.
Yeah, I mean, or not even the first show. Like, they already knew it already, you know, before filming. You know, they're like, okay, so here we go. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start the show. We're gonna start it with four rappers and 8 vocalists. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna eliminate almost all the rappers and then bring in a rapper towards the end, you know,
Right.
and then that would be really great for TV, you know, and blah blah blah, and then that
Because
would...
all the guys will get upset and all the fans will get upset.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I know this is stupid and petty, but did he have to sit in the kitchen the whole time while they enjoyed their meal? That's bullshit. You better have fed my boy.
I know, right?
He better have gotten like the wagyu or the hangwu or whatever
Yeah.
it is, the fancy
Woo.
beef.
Yeah. It's just like yeah, that when he said that, we realized that there were no rappers. I'm like, what?
It was literally daytime, I think, when that started, and then suddenly it was night. So they've been eating for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then you just bring somebody out of the back room. I mean,
yeah,
poor Chankyan.
Yeah.
I would have been like eating all my own fingernails, like just so nervous.
Yeah, like, and I can't, I can't realize like what was told to him, like, hey, by the way, you're gonna meet like a bunch of guys that may potentially be your group mates, but
Right.
we're not sure that we're gonna select you yet. Would you like to meet them? Of course you want to meet the other trainees, you know?
And we know that he was supposed to be, like many K-pop people, he was supposed to be in a different group, and their debut fell through.
Yeah.
So this was probably like that lifeline he'd been waiting for, and you know, someone from, you know, a sister agency or something had seen it, and they're like, this guy's really good. If you need an extra rapper, maybe, you know, throw him in. But you're right. What does he know at this point? Probably not the full story, because let me tell you guys, there are producers behind the scenes, and they usually get a group of contestants they're in charge of. I'm basing this off The Bachelor, but still, it's common practice in most reality shows that all the executive producers or like junior producers, it basically means, here's your 2 guys. You got to make sure they give us something every show.
Yeah.
They got to cry, they got to laugh, they got to bond, whatever. So I agree with you. He probably doesn't know the whole story.
Yeah.
And the rest of the guys obviously don't. I mean, Juhan looked like he was gonna throw up.
Yeah. Oh, well, all the guys looked really upset. They're like, "What? You're gonna bring in
Even the
guys
vocalists seemed really upset, which honestly, I was a little surprised about how upset they seemed. I guess, well, the other thing I'm forgetting is they've been working together for a lot longer than this show.
Yeah.
So, and they even said, remember in that New Year's one, they were
Yeah.
salty when Minhyuk and Hyungwon came in like a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they don't want someone to crash their party. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty much convinced that the producers knew exactly what they were doing, you know,
Right.
because
Otherwise, they
I
would have started
mean,
with 5 rappers.
exactly.
5 rappers and 8 vocalists makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, they could have started with 5 rappers or 7 vocalists, you know. They could have. But they didn't make that choice because I mean, this is a very cynical. I know. It's very cynical.
I
But
know. I feel like we're
but
being very cynical, but it's also
it's also
pretty
true.
standard in America. And maybe
Yeah.
it's not in Korea, but I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone
It's
watches each other. What works in any country can soon work in your own.
exactly,
So
you
a lot
know.
of America's most famous reality shows are based on something from England or Canada or,
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Yeah. And so
Mass Singer. We have that, guys.
Yeah. Mass
It's a
Singer.
huge Korean
Yeah.
show.
It started from Korea and then we took the idea and, you
Big
know.
Brother is a British show, and it's now in 64 countries in the world.
Yeah.
So, if someone's got a good idea, copy paste.
Yeah. I mean, Real Housewives. Don't
Real
even get
Housewives
us.
is all over. I mean, there's a Real Housewives of Nairobi.
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
And I really want to find it. If anyone knows how I can find it online, let me know. Because I know it's got to be juicy. But yeah,
Yes.
there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. Someone made
Yeah.
something, it's a juggernaut, and you're like, oh, well, if I just transpose a few things, boo-da-boo, American version, Korean version, Mexican version, Indian version.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier with reality shows than with scripted shows, and they do it with scripted shows all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. The Office.
Homeland.
Yeah. I know we can keep
there's
listing.
Ghosts. I mean, we can list a bunch of stuff that's on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think it probably was a plan.
Yeah.
I just wonder if he was always the rapper or if they were looking around. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I feel like some of these shows I feel like are from what I could tell, some of these shows like you need a contract like months in advance,
You're also assuming they did their due diligence, so you're less cynical than I thought you were.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like, they probably were scrambling to find someone.
Well, I'm saying this because it's like I don't know. It's just like
is it weird that I want to watch a behind the scenes on how this was made?
No, it's not weird. It's very
I have
interesting.
like all these questions because, like you said, it seems similar to things we've seen in the States, but that doesn't necessarily mean it is. There could be a whole other, behind the scenes thing, I'm just interested.
I feel like some because shows you can't just air shows. You need contracts. Contracts take time. Contracts also, well, some contracts could be expedited too, but
FYI, I assume everything that the rappers wrote for the show is not theirs.
Yeah, or
they don't own the rights to it, I would assume.
Yeah.
The show does.
Yeah, the show does, or it reverts
the producers.
Or it reverts back to them in X amount of years. But again, that's
actually
American.
Maybe even Starship owns it. Maybe they're their trainees.
Yeah. Who knows?
Cynical.
I know.
So cynical.
Yeah, but like I feel like you need contracts in place because I read a lot of contracts, and so
and yet
but
also
again,
these guys have not quite made it,
right?
So how hard are they reading?
Yeah. I mean, again, this is like an American standpoint. Korea could act very differently in terms of this, but I feel like you could get sued, but then again, America is a suing country. We like to sue left and right, so that's why we always have contracts in place, you guys, always. And so, but it's interesting because on the Korean side, again, I feel like they pre-planned everything out. Even if a Chinkyun, like they probably had him in mind, like for the
They
longest.
probably had like 3 people in mind, and he was the one who said yes.
Yeah, that they're like, okay,
He can't be
you're
the
on.
only person that they tried, Maybe when they were looking for rappers for the show, like they knew they didn't have enough. They couldn't get enough, and so they kept looking while stuff was happening.
Yeah, so we had a comment about this, about Chinkyun, but it might be a spoiler, so I'm not going to say it. About the
Should I take my ears out? I'm gonna take my ears out. I'm gonna give you this when I can put my ears back in.
I'll do this.
Okay, perfect. Full showgirls. Thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome. Okay, so on the comments, so basically, you said that Chinkyun, he signed that day, which is like quite possible, like that. I'm pretty sure going back to, I feel like they already pre-planned this from the beginning. So even though he may have signed that day and brought him on, it was already pre-planned already, So, but yeah, that really sucks to know that he had signed that day as a trainee and then they brought him in. So, anyways, I just wanted to bring the point that, yeah, I really do feel like everything was all pre-planned in the beginning for him to come in towards the end like this. Okay.
Thank you guys. I will say I've been avoiding your comments that have spoilers. I mean, it's not like I don't know what the end result is, but I kind of want you guys to see my real reaction about everything about my bias because it's gonna get hairy.
Yeah, I read every single word, and I'm the filter for Beth. So
Yes.
anything for episode 8 through any spoilers that I had read,
She's like, don't read this one, don't read that.
Yeah, I read all of it because we read everything. So, but specifically for this show, I'm Beth's filter. So
I don't know why, but I just really want to just I want it to play out like if I knew nothing.
Yeah.
Which of course is impossible, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, if we're all the way into spoilers, I think we're pretty much wrapped up with this episode, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we know that Chen Kyun is gonna make his appearance next episode, and it doesn't look pretty, you guys, at all.
And as we all know, he has the personality of a cat. And when a bunch of people are mean to a cat's usually like, oh, me? Eh.
Yes.
So I'm expecting him to also be shocked and there to be maybe a little moodiness in the workroom.
I mean, that is just putting it lightly. You know that they're gonna talk about him left and right, which is gonna be very, very hard to digest because now their teamwork is amazing. Like
now there's 9 guys who are a unit, and you.
Yeah.
Like how?
It's really sad. It's like I could see. It's like poor Chinkyun, like he's just set up to fail, like why?
And no matter how, like, just because you're introverted doesn't mean you don't feel. In fact, in my experience, introverts feel quite a lot. That's why they're introverted. So
way too much sometimes.
While he might look like what they're doing doesn't affect him, I mean, I just hate to think what happens when he goes home.
Yeah.
So I'm already, given that this episode, guys, is going to be bad. I'll bring
Yeah.
tissues to the next one.
Yeah.
I definitely will, because it's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be really, really rough to watch because everyone's going to be very disconnected with him, for the most
And
part.
again, then it actually makes them a stronger unit and a stronger group, because now it's us versus him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You
Go
guys,
wrong.
anyone else watched a bunch of survival shows? Like, is anyone model like this show? I hope not, because this is terrible. Terrible. It should never be modeled ever. Ever, ever, ever. This is the wrong way to go about it because it sets up a group to have people, it sets up a group where you're trying to form a band and then other people have ill will towards this person for no reason because he started later.
And not just the other members, but the general public.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. Everybody. Like,
yeah, that's what I meant, because it's like,
that's why they're still getting questions about if they hate him.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's been 7 years. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, we both seen clips of Juon saying at a concert, you know, like, we are one unit, you guys. Please love him because we love him, you know? So it's just like, ugh, what?
It must be so hard because there's always going to be this like little extra thing tacked onto the back of him, you know? And most people either, you know, we didn't know at the beginning, we didn't care, but if you deep dive into a band, you'll find out, and then you'll like, so it's like impossible not to know about it if you're a mom baby, even if you don't agree with it. You know, it's something that literally follows him around like a shadow every day.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sure if he had to rewrite everything, he would probably be one of the guys that he wanted to start off in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure he would have wanted to prove himself every single challenge because that's who he is.
Yeah. So now he has to prove himself even more.
Right.
You know.
And he's doing it. Writer, producer, rapper, vocalist.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, okay, there's episode 8, 9, 10. So there's 3 episodes, you know, that he has to prove himself to.
They said 1 mission. There's only 1 mission left.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to prove in 1 mission that he's good enough to beat out any other guy who's already survived 3.
Yeah. And so,
I mean, how could you not be a little salty?
Exactly. Where the other guys went through hell and back, you know, like you have like your solo thing in the beginning, then you have the teamwork thing. It's just like
you have the duets, the battles, like
So it's like they've been through that, but you're gonna let this guy, you can get the schmuck or whatever, you know, like only do
it seems like he's waltzing in at the end, even though, you know, I'm sure he's been going through his own stuff. And like you said, how much did he know he was going to be walking into? Maybe he thought he was walking into episode 3 or 5.
Yeah, who knows? You know. So it's just, I just feel really badly, like, already knowing the fact that, like, you know, like, Ching Hyun is the type of person who, you know, I most definitely he would want to be there from the beginning and prove himself and be like, you know, I'm not the golden child, you know, like
he would never think that about himself.
No.
I feel like he, like everyone else in Monsta X, it's all about hard work. It's all about putting the time in. So to be cast as this kind of like, you know, some guy who can just waltz in off the street and take it home, when that's 1000% not his personality at all.
No.
It must have been really, really frustrating. And unfortunately, as we all know, even when you know something's not the truth about you, in a weird way, perception is truth.
Yeah.
I know who I am, but if you think I'm something completely different and you won't change, I can't change how you think, then I'm also that.
Yeah.
So it really sucks. I just want to give him a little squishy.
I know. All right. Brace yourself. Episode 8 is here. I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not too thrilled about it either, you know.
Let's get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yes.
But not tonight. I've already cried. Let's do it another day.
Yes. Let's do it another day for sure. Yeah. I think we had both. Yeah, we had enough of our tears today. We good.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Woo! This must have been like 2-hour discussion after the one episode. I don't know, but you guys, thanks for sticking around with us. If you're here till the very end. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this episode with us. If you guys like this episode, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we are La Chimolala. And we will see you guys next time for episode 8 and see how everything goes down. And hopefully we won't throw stuff at our laptops.
That was a lot of hopefullys.
On that note,
annyeong!